Welcome to the Burn City Suns Talk post-game show. We are here at Footprint Center after the Suns defeated the Trailblazers once again in the preseason. They are now 3-1 after defeating them 117 to 106. What were your takeaways from the first half of this game?
Yeah, Damian, it was, it's kind of hard. Frank Vogel said it in postgame. It's kind of hard to take away much from this game, but the big three looked really good. And the reason you can't really take away much is because the Blazers were resting DeAndre Ayton, Anthony Simons, and Jeremy Grant. So it was kind of tough to judge, but the Suns dominated when they played their star players. So.
Yeah, I would call this a mature performance, right? This is when you take advantage of a team that is maybe a little light, maybe they're a little short-handed. And you see games like this during the regular season where teams take it for granted. The next thing you know is the headline is, oh, this team falls to a team that only has 8 players dressed today. So you definitely don't want that to happen, and the Suns show that they won't let that happen. And what about Devin Booker, man?
That was incredible. I mean, 17 points in the first quarter. He made his first 4 threes. I mean, there was a lot of talk in the post game that we just went to about his pull-up three-point game, which we've seen has been a problem. Like, Devin, why are you taking that pull-up three when you're hot? So that's been a problem in the past, but today it was the complete opposite. I mean, most of those threes that he took in the first quarter were pull-up threes, and they were kind of head-scratchers in the past, but today they just look so pretty.
Yeah, he's been super efficient all preseason. That's coming off of being a super efficient all postseason last year. So it's going to be a scary year for opponents dealing with Devin Booker. And then when Devin Booker comes out, Kevin Durant gets hot in the second quarter.
I mean, yeah, that was ridiculous. It was like they were picking their poison. Like, who's going to score now? I mean, you saw KD get hot to start the second quarter, and then he's like, okay, let me get Bradley in on the action. He passed it to him for assists on 2 straight possessions. So I think Bradley Beal was the only question mark. I think he was 2 of 7 today from the floor. So that was a little bit of struggle of kind of fitting in there. But I really liked him on the defensive side of the ball, though. He had I think it was 2 straight plays where there was a long rebound and he fought the Blazers offward. So I think Bradley made big steps defensively, even though his offensive stats weren't that good.
Yeah, and that's the thing with this team. Even if one of the big three is off offensively, you have so many other gifted offensive players. Eric Gordon didn't even play tonight, but Grayson Allen showed up in a big way on offense and defense. And speaking of defense, Jordan Goodwin. Like 6 steals, who does that?
No, that was ridiculous. And he had 4 steals in the first 4 minutes he played. He also had 4 fouls in that second quarter when he first came in. We heard some talk about that as well in the post-game presser. So he said he didn't really agree with the refs there. But no, he's just his mindset. From what I've seen from him, like his mindset of wanting to get better, learning from the best, he doesn't take it for granted at all. He watches as much film as he can to get better. So I think that's kind of a component of his game that I think is really going to help this Suns team just mesh together.
You definitely do not, get 6 steals without learning the tendencies of your opponents and watching film. And that's something that all these defenders have been doing. You can see it from defenders like Grayson Allen and Josh Okogie.
No, I mean, Josh Okogie and Grayson Allen, they're still fighting for that 5th starter spot, and it's still really tough to tell because both of them are playing so well. I mean, Grayson got the nod over Josh today in the starting lineup, which I thought was a good decision by Coach Vogel to see who fits in better, but you still can't tell because they both do. So it's like, do you want Josh's dynamic offensive game? It seems like he has a better offensive game. Do you want that off the bench, or do you want Okogie's defense off the bench? Which, I mean, me and you have talked about, like, Okogie's defense is kind of more valuable in that starting spot. Even though Grayson is also a very good defender, his scoring off the bench would just be huge for the Suns.
Yeah, I'm definitely not jealous of Frank Vogel for having to make this decision at all because, like you said, both guys have played their butts off in the preseason. And Grayson Allen tonight on both ends of the floor. And I love how he attacked closeouts. The Portland Trailblazers started off the game in a 2-3 zone, and he took full advantage of that by attacking that zone, getting layups, and also making great passes out to open shooters.
Yeah, and Josh Okogie, on the other hand, he had a plus 20 plus minus, and that was the highest on the team. Grayson Allen, the second highest at plus 18.
Yeah.
So you just see those two guys, the way that they play affects winning, and I think that's the biggest thing in that 5th starter spot, which is why those two guys have gotten the nod over guys like Keita Bates-Diop or Yuta Watanabe, just because of how much they've affected winning. Even though Keita Diop and Yuta haven't been bad. Those two guys have just been ultra impressive.
Yeah, no, they've been great, and it's a good problem to have because you know you're going to have a great 6 and 7 guy when you bring in Eric Gordon to that equation. So when it comes to that starting 5th spot, we just don't know who's going to get it, but it's a great problem for the Suns to have, knowing that they have 2 guys who are definitely battling out in this type of way.
Yeah, and I mean, just like I'm thinking off the top of my head, I think like the first 6 guys off the bench of Jordan Goodwin, Drew Eubanks, either Grayson Allen or Josh Okogie, Yuta, Keita Diop, and Eric Gordon. I mean, those 6 guys are just that's incredible to have them off the bench. I mean, that they could be plug-in starters on other teams. So.
Oh, for sure. This team definitely has depth, and it's crazy that the fan favorite you didn't even mention in that rotation is Bol. He's somebody that the fans have really taken a liking to. They went crazy when he got in the game. Before he came in the game, you heard chants of, "We want Bol." So hopefully Bol gets a chance to prove himself throughout the season. But like you said, right now he's probably on the outside looking in of the rotation.
Yeah, and the Suns just play one more preseason game, so I don't know how much we're going to see from them. I mean, 76 points in the first half is for 2 straight games playing with, I mean, I know the first game they didn't have Bradley Beal, but with the star players in the rotation, I mean, I don't know what else you need to see. I mean, maybe Bradley Beal goes out there on Thursday against the Lakers, but it's going to be tough to judge after this kind of performance.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if most of the stars sit down in that last preseason game for both teams. You know, the Lakers have an older team, you know, the oldest player in the league now, LeBron James, on their squad. So I wouldn't mind if, you know, both teams are like, hey, we're going to get ready for the regular season, which is right around the corner starting next week. So make sure you check out Burn City Suns Talk for all of your Suns coverage. Follow Burn City Sports on all social media platforms, but not just the Suns, but the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, who are fighting to get into the World Series right now, the Coyotes, whose season just started, everything Arizona State, and Phoenix Rising as well. And until next time, peace.